How are we doing, guys? Happy New Year. This is welovebetting.co.uk, another video from us, and this is Stat Chat with me, Chris Graham. Looking ahead to this weekend's fixtures from a statistical point of view, and looking to see if there's any betting value we can take from the various stats that we have served up to us by various sources through the weekend. So I'm looking at the key stats, the head-to-heads, the trends, etc., and seeing if there's any value kicking around. 5 games, and I'll start off with one of the most remarkable head-to-heads I've ever seen doing this video for about a year now, and it is extraordinary. It really is extraordinary. It's Norwich against Fulham, who take each other on in the FA Cup tomorrow. It's Fulham's absolutely incredible domineering hold over Norwich over the last 28 years. It really is extraordinary. They're unbeaten in 13 against Norwich. You know, that is amazing. Sometimes I stand in front of you and say unbeaten 7 or 8. Unbeaten in 13. 2 Premier League sides of similar ilk, you would say. But Fulham unbeaten in 13, played 13, won 10, drawn 3, lost 0. It's a very, very strong record, isn't it? And some big wins in recent years. A 4-0 win in the 1999 Worthington Cup, a 5-0 win on opening day last season for Fulham over Norwich, and a 6-0 win on the closing day of the 2004-05 season when Norwich were relegated. So real dominance there, real dominance. And you have to, like I say, you have to go back 28 years to find the last time Norwich beat Fulham. That was on the 29th of March 1986 in the old Division 2. What was happening at that particular time? Well, the football world was reeling at the news that Don Howe had resigned as Arsenal manager the day before this fixture. Of course, that heralded in the era of George Graham, didn't it? And in terms of the country, generally, the country was buzzing from the recent engagement of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. I did see a bookmaker price up 25 to 1 last week that they would remarry in 2014. Is that the worst bet you've ever seen in your life? Is that? Because I think it's the worst bet I've ever seen in my life. I won't name and shame the horrible bookmaker that priced up those odds. West Brom against Palace, not the most glamorous of fixtures in the FA Cup third round weekend, let's be honest. And that the statistics suits that. Under 2.5 is what it's all about here. The last 5 times these sides have played each other, it's went under 2.5. In fact, 4 of the last 5 times it's seen exactly 2 goals in the fixture. So go low when it comes to West Brom against Crystal Palace tomorrow. Notts Forest against West Ham. I remember being a young lad and watching this in the 1991 FA Cup semi-final back in the day when I was in love with football. And it's all about the overs here, over 2.5 the last 5 times these sides have met, Notts Forest and West Ham. It's all about West Ham really, a couple of big 3-2 wins to West Ham in recent years, and a 4-1 win in 2011 in the Championship as well. So West Ham scored most of the goals in a fixture that's produced a lot of goals, over 2.5 the last 5 times they've met. Liverpool against Oldham is a fixture that's occurring for the 3rd consecutive season in the FA Cup. They should try and ban that to make sure it doesn't happen, because it kind of takes away the fun. Imagine if you're an Oldham fan, you wouldn't even be excited if you're playing Liverpool, because it's happening all the time, isn't it? Over 2.5, as you'd imagine, is the key here. The last 5 times these sides have met, it's gone over 2.5, and Oldham have certainly played their part in that. Of course, they lost 5-1 to Liverpool 2 years ago in the FA Cup, but they won 3-2 last year in one of the big shocks. And they also won 3-2 back in May of 1993 when Ian Olney scored twice for the Lancashire club. They pretty much kept them in the inaugural FA Premier League that particular season. But over 2.5 and the last 5 times in Oldham very much played their part. I'll end like I always end with a Scottish game, and it's the game between Stirling Albion and East Stirling tomorrow. And it's all about both teams to score here. Both teams to score. It has occurred the last 6 times these sides have met, and 11 of the last 14 times as well. So a strong start there, and some big score lines attached to this fixture as well. When the both teams to score bet has come in. A 5-1 win for Stirling Albion in 2003, and a 9-1 win last March 2013, just 10 months ago, for Stirling Albion against East Stirling. I'll leave it there. The 5-minute clock's just passed by, so I'll leave it there. Have a good weekend.